If you're broke and you're wondering what business can I even start with no money, friend, I have been there. I know what it's like to feel stuck, overwhelmed, and feel like you've got zero options. But here's the truth. Being broke or just struggling financially doesn't mean you're out of the game. In fact, it might just be the perfect place to start. And in today's episode, I'm breaking down the exact steps you can take to launch a business from scratch, even if your bank account is empty. Let's talk strategy, mindset, and how to turn nothing into something. Have you ever heard that phrase, it takes money to make money? I always thought that was true when it came to business building. I was never into business, never wanted to start a business. In fact, I opened up the introduction to my first book, How to Get Paid for What You Know, with these words: I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. Not only did I never want to be one, I never even thought about being one or ever thought it would be something I would pursue. But if I did think about entrepreneurship or business owners, I imagined you had to get a business loan, you had to have a business plan, you had to have some money to buy a thing or get something going. And that's probably because I was looking around at all the businesses I could see. When I started my first business, The Recording Revolution, it was in the middle of a global recession in 2009. And I had no idea that what I was about to start was the beginning of a 15-year journey so far that's generated over $15 million, all from starting with zero. I didn't have any capital. I didn't have any investors. I didn't take out a single loan, still haven't to this day, haven't borrowed a single penny, or needed to have money to do something to be able to make money. I made money from nothing, and then you have always used that money to invest in the next thing that would help me make more money, whether it was a tool or a coach or an experience or an event or a book. I've only reinvested profit that I made starting from zero. And I've done this twice in two different businesses and turned each one into a multi-million-dollar business from zero money. What's amazing is that when I did this the first time, hardly anybody was doing this, and I had no idea. I thought I was the only one. Now there are millions of people doing this, and there's faster ways to do it and better tools and better resources, this show being one of them. And so it's easier than ever before. So what I want you to understand real quick before I get into the path is, number one, it is possible to start a multi-million-dollar business from nothing. I know because I've done it twice. It's also faster than it was 15 years ago. It's easier than it was 15 years ago. And it does not matter that everyone else is building businesses or everyone else you see online seems to be making a lot of money. None of that matters because most people aren't doing jack, and most people don't have a strategy, and most people are busy doing things, but there's not a lot of real profit left over. What I'm going to show you today is a proven business model that you can start with nothing. And I'm going to show you how to go from zero to your first $10,000 without spending a single penny. Now, you can spend money for some tools that might speed it up a little bit, but you don't have to. I didn't when I started. So that way you can ease your way into this, prove to yourself that you can make money, and then you can reinvest how you see fit. Does that sound fair? Okay. The only other caveat I will make is that there are a million different business models. I'm just going to show you one today. All right. And future trainings, if you find this valuable, you can let me know in a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. I'll show you other business models that you can also start with zero. But I want to show you a very powerful one that I've rinsed and repeated for 15 years. Here we go. One of the easiest and cheapest businesses to start is a coaching or consulting business. And I know, two thoughts creep into your head. Number one is either, well, I don't have anything that I could coach people on or consult on. I'm not a coach or a consultant. And that's like the imposter syndrome creeping up. I will address that in a minute. You might have that thought, or you might have the other thought, which is, I'm sick and tired of all these coaches and consultants. Everyone's a coach, everyone's a consultant. I don't want to play that game. Totally fair. You do not have to become a coach or a consultant. This is just one business model. It is a beautiful business model. It is, in my opinion, the best business model, hence why I'm teaching it to you today for a million reasons. But the idea that so many other people are doing it, and you have a bad taste in your mouth about other people being coaches and consultants, whatever comes up for you in your mind, I feel like that's robbing you from two things. One, lots of money, and two, being able to help a lot of people. Because at the end of the day, what is a coach or a consultant? Here's Graham's definition: someone who helps solve other people's problems, which is all entrepreneurs are doing anyway. But it's getting rid of everything else. A coaching business or a consulting business is getting rid of the brick and mortar store. It's getting rid of fulfillment. It's getting rid of shipping. It's getting rid of staff, team. It's getting rid of everything, advertising dollars. It's getting rid of everything and bringing entrepreneurship back to its most basic, its most stripped down essence, which is one person, you, solving another person's problem, your customer or client. That's it. It's like there's nothing more simple or stripped down than this model. Now, if you're willing to say, okay, I'm interested in this model, Graham, help me make my first 10K with it, but I don't feel like I'm a coach or a consultant, that feels like something I would have to get trained on or get a certification on or read a book on. No, it's just language. It's language that other people understand. If you're a coach or a consultant, they understand, oh, you help me achieve an outcome or you help me solve a problem. So let's walk through 7 steps, 7 simple principles. We're going to get very tactical today. So get out your notes. I'm going to give you the map. All right. I don't know how else to say it, but I'm just giving you the map for free. This is stuff that I would teach and charge for, but I'm going to give it to you for free today. So you can go from I have nothing to making something. And if I'm being candid, my hope is that you'll make some money with this map, make your first 10K, and then you can work with me in one of my programs, right? And I got stuff at every different level and more stuff coming out to help you win and achieve and grow. I help entrepreneurs go from 0 to multi-millions. So wherever you are on the journey, I want to be able to help you. But the best way I can help you is to help you for free here, and you can put it to the test. And you'll know if you're ready, because I don't even want to work with you if you're not ready to do the work. But you'll know if you're ready to do the work. If you do the work, you make your 10K or more, and then you're like, what Graham taught me worked. I'm going to come back and work with him on a paid basis. That's the hope here. So here we go. I'm going to serve you powerfully. This is going to be simple, but this is the path, bro. This is going to help you. Number 1 is you always have to map out your ideal customer. This is the most important thing. The who is more important than the how. Dan Sullivan has a great book called Who Not How, but it's so true in business, different application. But in business, it doesn't matter how or what or the model or the offer. Like none of that matters until you're clear on the who your ideal customer is. So Graham, who's my ideal customer? Well, I'm going to steal my friend Rory Vaden's line because it's the fastest way to get to the answer because he's just so brilliant. And that is, you are most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were. Let me say that again. You are most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were. This is Rory Vaden, Brand Builders Group, his quote, brilliant guy, brilliant company. But that sentence is the shortcut to figuring out who your customer is going to be. Because you can serve a lot of people, and a lot of people will tell you, oh, find a customer in one of these 3 categories, health, wealth, or relationships, and then find a customer in those 3 categories that has deep pockets. And I actually think that's great advice, but I think before you look at those categories, because they're the ones that have the biggest emotional pull to people, and there's the biggest amount of desire and pain in all 3 of those categories, and obviously, if you serve people that have deep pockets, they're going to be able to afford high ticket things, and you'll be able to scale easier. And they're the more they pay, the better the customers they are. Typically, there's a lot of benefits to that strategy. But before you even go there, the shortcut is you want to build a business around not someone you could potentially serve or serve a little. Who are you most powerfully positioned to serve? And the shortcut is who you once were. So, for example, my first business, the Recording Revolution, I served home studio musicians who wanted to have professional sounding recordings on a budget. That was my ideal customer. That was me 10 years prior. When I was a teenager, I wanted to figure out how to record my music because I was in a band. I was in a cool rock band in middle school and high school, and we wanted to go into a recording studio, but it was too expensive. So we pooled our money together and bought an 8-track recorder, which was like a multi-hard disk recorder before computer recording was really a popular thing or affordable thing. We bought an $800 box and some microphones, and nobody wanted to figure this thing out. And so I didn't want to figure it out. I don't care about tech. I care about my music. But I forced myself to read the manual, figure the thing out, learned the art of multi-track recording, then became obsessed with it, ended up going to college for it as well. But like, I became obsessed with this strategy or this technique and this craft so that for the purposes of being able to get our music recorded on a budget and make it sound good, I figured out how to do that really, really well. And I've been able to do that for other people. It started with friends of mine. Oh, Graham, your recordings sound good. Can you help me? Yeah, I can help you with your recordings. And then it dawned on me, I'm probably not the only person that's not an audio engineer. I'm a musician. I'm not a left brain. I'm a right brain. But I want professional recordings, but I don't have a lot of money to spend on gear, and I don't have a lot of money to go to a nice studio. Wouldn't it be amazing if somebody could teach that person how to get professional sound and recordings on a budget? I think I could do that. So I ultimately started a YouTube channel, a blog in 2009, and a YouTube channel January 2010 to teach these people how to record music on a budget, because that's who I was, help them get to where I was. And I did that thinking I would get leads for a service-based business, which I ended up getting that. But I ended up turning into a content-based business as well, which taught me that it was not just, don't just be a freelancer, be a coach or a teacher or a consultant. And that's where I learned this whole thing. So that's who I once was. Fast forward to 2018 when I launched this brand, I was like, dude, I've become a millionaire teaching what I know on the internet and packaging it into courses and communities and coaching programs. I can help other people do that too. So everything I do on this channel is to help you who are who I once was. Not making money online, don't have a business, struggling to pay the bills. I was on food stamps for 18 months. I had a wife and a baby and a mortgage at 26, and I had to become incredibly responsible, and I was scared out of my mind. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any help. I didn't know this was an industry I was in. I would have killed to have someone pull me up and give me the shortcut. So that's what I do every day on this channel, is I serve who I was. I served Graham 2009 when I was scared out of my mind. So the question is, who did you used to be? Have you come far in a transformation of your health? Did you used to be overweight and unhealthy? Or you had diseases and you were able to go on a health journey and then lose weight, get in shape, eliminate those diseases naturally, look better, feel more confident? Have you had a health journey? Well, then you're most powerfully positioned to help people that were you 5 years ago, or you 2 years ago, or you 10 years ago. Did you have a marriage that was struggling and then you figured something out with your spouse and now you have the most thriving marriage you've ever had before? Well, then you can help struggling married couples. The you 5 years ago, the you 10 years ago, the you last year. Do you see how we do? Like, what is an area in your life that you used to struggle in, that you discovered something, implemented something, and have found success with it and have completely been transformed from it? That is not the only thing you could teach. It's not the only thing you could build a business around, but it's the thing you're most powerfully positioned to build a business around as a coach or consultant, because you know everything about that person, because that was you. You know their fears, you know their desires, you know their pains, you know the scripts, the mental scripts, the stories they tell themselves in their head. You know what keeps them up at night. You don't have to guess, because that was you. This is the shortcut. This is the cheat code to being incredibly persuasive in all your content, your sales copy, sales calls, any of that stuff. And if that stuff sounds stressful, don't worry about it. This is going to be so much easier than you think. Does this make sense? So you write down, number one, who do you want to serve? Okay. The next question to this is, what is that person's big question? Excuse me, their big problem. What is that person's big problem if you had to put it in one sentence? So that's why if you go back, if you were on a health journey, you 5 years ago when you were at your worst, let's say, what was your big problem? How would you describe that problem? And use real language that you would have used. And what was the desired outcome you wanted? What did you want more than anything? You get clear on those three things. And I've done videos and episodes diving down into that more depth. It's something I call the perfect client code. But at its core, you serve the person you once were. What was the big problem you had? What was the big outcome you wanted? You jot that down. You're getting into the mind of your ideal customer right then and there. So step one, ideal customer. Step 2, create a swipe file. What is a swipe file? Think about this as a simple PDF. Could be a video, could be a tool, it could be anything, but a simple, you make this in Google Docs. A swipe file is a 1-pager, 2-pager PDF that solves one specific problem for your ideal person. What is one of those problems? I know they have their big problem, the thing they struggle with, but what is one specific little problem that they struggle with that you could solve for them very quickly if they just downloaded this free guide? Yes, you could teach it with free content, and you're going to teach a lot of free content, but think about a problem that's so pervasive and on the surface that when you explain it, they feel the pain instantly, and you could solve it. You're like, I could solve this for you in my simple swipe file, right? This could be a cheat sheet. This could be a white paper, whatever language you want to use around it. It's functionally like here's the answer for this one little thing. Don't make it huge, and it can't be something that takes a long time for them to solve. It needs to be something they could solve quickly. So, for example, for years, I built a $1 million a year business off the back of a simple swipe file that was my home studio gear checklist. It was recommendations of microphones, speakers, audio interfaces, software, etc., at different price points. This was something that you could find in a way, any blog post, or you could listen to all my recommendations if you watched all of my videos. But what I did was, like, the problem I solved was I eliminated the thinking for them of what to buy based off of their budget. I just said, hey, if you trust me, if you like my content, here, I'm going to give you my personal picks, and there's no affiliate links. I don't make any commissions off of this, so it's not a moneymaker thing. It's like, if I were to get a microphone and I could spend $100, I would get one of these. If I could spend $200, I'd get one of these. I just broke it down by category, by budget, and then I even had, it was just like stuff with a price point and an Amazon link or a Sweetwater link or wherever. I was like, but you could buy it wherever, and the prices may change, but this is what I would recommend. I save them time. I save them second guessing. I save them being frustrated because they're like, well, he says this, Mike, and they're like, great, just give me a recommendation, right? And it's mind-blowing how that doesn't seem to me as the most valuable thing I could offer, but it solved a real clear pain point very quickly for somebody, and it's like a no-brainer. Oh, I'll download that. What can you solve very quickly for your ideal customer? And create a swipe file. So get on Google Docs, write it down, export it as a PDF, done. Step 3, make a simple landing page. A landing page, you don't even have to have a website, my friend. A landing page is a single page website that does one thing. It could be a sales page. It could be an event sign-up page. It could be anything. But in this case, we're going to make it as an opt-in page to collect a lead, an email address, a phone number, in exchange for your swipe file. So you can build this for free with tools like Canva. Canva does free landing pages. Squarespace does free landing pages. My all-time favorite is Kajabi, which is not free, but they have a 30-day free trial. If you use my link, I'll put it in the show notes in the description, grahamcochran.com/Kajabi. So you could literally build all this for free in the first 30 days, and you could actually make money in the first 30 days to pay for Kajabi. Kajabi then becomes everything you would ever need for your whole business. But you could build this landing page for free. And it's a simple opt-in form. They type in their information to get access to the swipe file, which is a PDF. Cost you nothing. So far we've spent nothing. Number 4 step. After they opt in for your swipe file, have the landing page take them to a second landing page we call this a thank you page. Thanks for opting in, or thanks for downloading. We call that a thank you page. And most of the time people waste the thank you page. They just say, thank you, check your inbox. Or thank you, here's the free thing. Big waste of opportunity. You want the thank you page to actually make them an offer. And you want this offer to be a $17 to $47 mini course. And think of this as a simple 1-hour video that expands on that swipe file. Okay, so functionally, if you had a swipe file that solved the problem, like if I was in the relationship space and I was helping couples, or maybe I was specifically helping men sort of reclaim their marriage, maybe I would have a swipe file that was like my five scripts to diffuse any tough situation with your spouse. 5 things you can say that can diffuse any tension point, argument, whatever. Or you could go 5 scripts you can use to make your wife instantly find you more attractive. see how I'm just giving, they were like, A, there's curiosity. What are the 5 scripts? What are the 5 things you could say? And then B, like there's no work. It's not going to take a long time. I just probably take one of those and I try it out tonight, see if it works. Like there's no, like, I got to build this thing and I got to learn this thing. And it's easy, right? So let's say it was the five things to diffuse any argument, 5 scripts to diffuse any argument with your wife or when you sense the tension building. Then they download it. The next page, I say, hey, it's going to be in your inbox in just a second. I have an entire 1-hour training on how to, when you're in an argument with your wife, how to, in 30 minutes, go from fighting to flirting. And I'm going to show you I'm making this up. I'm going to show you I need to download this if this is real. Shay would be like, oh, this is great. I'm going to show you my process mid-argument to, in 30 minutes, go from fighting to flirting and really diffuse the situation. It starts with those 5 scripts I just gave you that you just downloaded, which are great. You can just use those and try those out. But there's a whole process I have, and I would love to show it to you in this 1-hour training. It's $17, $37, $47, and they buy it there. So you'll need a checkout page. So you'll need to make sure that whether you're using Canva or Squarespace or Kajabi, ideally Kajabi does all of this. It'll allow you to deliver the file with the email. It allows you to sell video courses. All that's baked in. And you could build all of this for free in the first 30 days with Kajabi. That's why I like Kajabi, because you don't need any other tool. But you have to be able to take payment, credit card payment, and then deliver the video, ideally on a password protected page. Again, Kajabi does as well. And it'd be just a single 1-hour video. And you're basically explaining where the swipe file started. You expand it to what would come next, right? So it pairs perfectly with a swipe file. Step 5, this is where we get ninja. If you're on a tool like Kajabi, once they buy that $17 thing or that $27 thing or that $47 thing, you're allowed to do what are called one-click upsell. So it takes you to yet another landing page that says, hey, thanks so much for buying my fighting to flirting 3-step training. Would you like implementation coaching for the next 90 days where I could completely transform all things in your marriage? Apply now or purchase now. Book a coaching package. And what I want you to do is sell something between $500 and $1,000. Now, if that sounds crazy, this is where the real coaching consulting comes in. The swipe file is just a lead generation offer. Mini course or the 1-hour training is a kind of core product offer. Like, they like that. They're going to go deeper into your training. But then your main premium value offer, your main money maker for you, this is going to be premium for you as you're starting out, is going to be a $500 to $1,000 coaching package. You decide how long that should be. I would recommend make it a 90-day transformation or a 90-day thing. And it could be a call every week. It could be a call every other week. So it's somewhere between 6 and 12 calls. You decide the price point between $500 and $1,000. It's all made up. It's all how confident you are about what the result is or the payoff they're going to get from working with you. And then the price becomes trivial because compared to the outcome, it's a deal for them. So you either offer that on the upsell page to apply for that or to book it straight up, lock it in. Or if you don't have the ability to do upsell videos, this is still step 5, you can have a follow-up email sequence if you're using Kajabi or MailChimp or something like that that has automated email funnels. Once they've downloaded the swipe file or they bought the 1-hour training, it can follow up and make sure they got everything. And in a day or two, it can say, hey, I take people through 90-day coaching transformations in this area. Would you like to apply here? And then they could see more details, they can apply, and then you could jump on a call with them. And that's what I'd recommend is you take them to an application so they feel like the psychology of, oh, please pick me. I hope Graham picks me. And it also allows you to filter and figure out something about them before you jump on a call, and then jump on an initial call for free. Find out more about what they're struggling with, what desires they have, outcomes they want, and actually coach them on the call a little bit. And coach them at a high level, like, hey, here's what I see. Here's what I think you need to be doing and why I think you need to be doing it. It'll give you the outcome you want. And if you're interested in learning how to do all this, I'd love to help you implement that over the next 90 days. It's a $1,000 arrangement, and we get on a call every week, once a week for 90 days. And you'll go from where you are now to this in 90 days. And that's the pitch. So that's step 5. Steps 6 and 7 are more for ongoing growth. Step 7, start step 6 first, is you need to create a trust funnel, which is built around trust content. So if the word funnel messes you up, I like to think of the content you create on the internet, whether it's Instagram, TikTok. I prefer YouTube. I think it's the best platform out there. Wherever you create content, ideally video content, because that's the world we're in today. Wherever you create content on the internet, that's where you're beginning to build trust with total strangers. You're getting discovered, letting them find you because you're talking about things that matter to them, that are showing up in search engines, being shared, so they can learn to trust you, test drive your brain, test drive your methods, get to know you. The more cumulative time they spend with you, the more they'll trust you. That's why I prefer long form video on YouTube versus short form on Instagram or TikTok, because they don't spend much time with you. They just swipe to the next thing. But if they get on a video and like, oh, she's great. Oh, he's great. They'll watch more and more. And that's what gets them to realize I need to work with Graham. And so in every single piece of content, you have a link to your free swipe file. And you have a link to your application if they want to work with you for your 90-day transformation. So if they want to go straight to apply to work with you, they can do that. If they're not ready, they can download the free gift. And that way you win. You can have people that are ready to buy, because some people are ready to buy. And then you have people that aren't quite sure, so they want to test out a free thing. And that starts the process that you created that leads them to the $17 to $47 hour-long video training, which leads them to the upsell or follow-up sequence offering an application for the 90-day transformation, 90-day implementation coaching. So you want to then create that trust content all over the internet, but pick one platform and go big on it. I would say pick YouTube and go big on it. Teach, share, talk about things in the industry, talk about problems, answer the top 25 questions that you get or you had. If you don't get questions, what were the biggest questions you had when you were stuck? Make those YouTube titles and answer those questions. That's going to create content. You're going to get eyeballs and get discovered, and they're going to start downloading your swipe file or applying to work with you directly. And then the only other thing you got to have on YouTube, this is step 7, or Instagram or wherever you're showing up online, is your elevator pitch, which is, think of this as your social media bio. Instead of it being about you and how great you are, and this is where the imposter syndrome creeps up of like, I don't have any credibility, I don't have any certifications, who cares? No, literally not a single person cares. All they care about is, can you help them? They're like, can you help me? That's all they're asking you is, can you help me? And who do you help? So that's what you answer. Here's your bio. I help blank achieve blank without blank. I help blank achieve blank without blank. Or I help blank eliminate blank, right? So the blank is the avatar. The first one is, I help, men over 40 reclaim their health. Or I help men over 40, let's get even better, look incredible in a bathing suit. I help men over 40 lose 20 to 50 pounds. Whatever. Who do you help? What do you help them do? Right? My elevator pitch is, I help business owners, and more specifically, I help coaches, consultants, authors, and speakers create more money, margin, and meaning in their lives. Those are the 3 things I'm good at: helping you make more money in your business, do it in half the amount of time. So specifically, I help entrepreneurs, like the ones I'm coaching in my coaching programs. I'm helping entrepreneurs scale to 7 figures and work 20 hours a week or less. Right? That is an elevator pitch, social media bio type statement. Does that make sense? So you just craft that statement. I help who achieve what without what is another bonus that you can add on there. Like, I help entrepreneurs double their income without working more. And my version of it is, I help entrepreneurs 2x their income and work by working half the time. It's very clear. It's great for you, gives you confidence, because that's who you are. You're already showing them, this is the transformation I can give you, however you want to work with me. So by the time they apply, they're like, I want that transformation. I am that person. And now you just run. This, my friend, is the path to your first 10K, but it's not just your first 10K. This is your path to your first 100K pretty easily if you're willing to put in the work and engage with people and get on calls and do that free coaching call to start for people that applied if they feel like a good fit. Every coaching call you get on, the free call, whether they say yes or no, you're going to learn something about the pains, the problems, the payoffs they want, the dreams they have. And you're going to be able to refine your messaging. You're going to be able to refine your content. You're going to get ideas for more content, and it's just going to take off from there. And what's really going to happen is, in every element of what you do here, you're going to become the coach and the consultant that you admire and want to be, but don't feel qualified to be. Because at the end of the day, it's not credibility, or it's not a degree, or it's not a certification that gives you the right to be a coach or consultant. None of that means anything. All that matters is, can you help somebody? And you know you can help somebody because you've helped yourself get out of where you were. That's why if you build this whole business around helping the person you once were, you instantly know you can do it. And that's all that matters. And if you don't have any testimonials, you lean off of that. You just tell your story. I was 100 pounds overweight. I lost the weight, eliminated my diabetes. You tell the story. You are your first testimonial, and you build from there. In review, get clear on your ideal customer. Create the swipe file for the one problem you could solve for them quickly. Offer it on a simple landing page for free. Take them to a thank you page that offers the 1-hour mini course at $17 to $47. Upsell on the next page or in a follow-up email sequence a 90-day implementation coaching package and send them to an application where you jump on a discovery call and try to book them. Create trust every single week on YouTube and Instagram with your content where you're offering your swipe file and your application for 90-day coaching, and your elevator pitch. I help blank achieve blank, or I help blank eliminate blank. This all from spending $0, my friend. All you need is an internet connection, and all the other tools are free. So my question for you is, have you made your first 10K yet? If you haven't, put in the chat no. But more importantly put, I'm going to. Today is the day you're going to go from, I'm going to decide I am now an entrepreneur. I'm going to go into business. It's going to cost me $0 to start, and I'm going to make my first 10K, and then that's just going to be the beginning. So say, no, I haven't yet, but today's the day. You can even put that in the comments. Today's the day. And if you've already made your first 10K and you want to scale, let me know in the comment below where you're getting stuck. Where have you gotten stuck in your journey, and where you want to try to get to? Like what revenue level you're trying to get to, where you're getting stuck. And I'm going to look at the comments, and then I'll be able to craft some more content to help solve that for you as well. Hope this is helpful for you. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and you can't leave a comment, then message me on Instagram. I look at those too. At @TheGrahamCochran. Let me know if you've already done 10K, but you're stuck and you need to get to the next level. How can we get you to 100K and beyond? All right, my friend, have an amazing week. I'll see you on another episode real soon.